we're going to go ahead and talk about how to add an extra $1,000 a month in your agency by building out your own internal talent and client acquisition systems. Now, this video is going to be specifically for agencies who already are making $10,000 a month minimum and already have a proven offer, but face challenges with hiring exceptional talents as well as booking consistent meetings on their calendar every single month. This is also for those who want to take action and want, again, consistency and predictability in their agency by developing their own internal systems for both acquiring talents and acquiring clients, which further will eliminate the need of you needing to depend on external companies like recruitment companies or lead generation agencies. Because you see, the current market is overflowing with agencies who promise and guarantee you leads and appointments. You probably have seen the ads or came across someone who is promoting such thing. Well, today you won't need to depend on these companies because you will possess the exact systems in-house and more. The exact systems that these guys are pitching, these ads that you probably are seeing, you're going to have these exact systems in-house and much more. Now, what I'm about to share with you comes from 5 years experience in the industry working with e-commerce and information product brands. It comes from scaling my own paid ads agency to over 115K in 11 months on our best month. And it comes from investing over 50 grand in courses and mentorship from leading experts in the field. And after analyzing the market, we launched AP when we realized that there's a blue ocean. And what is this blue ocean? It was a huge demand in people wanting to own and manage their own talent and client acquisition systems internally. So for that reason, we took a different approach from what everyone else is doing and focused on something other than actually selling leads. In the famous quote of Mark Twain, he said, "When you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to stop and reflect." And that's exactly what we did. After these 5 years experience, I'm like, what can we do when it comes to this consulting business? And it wasn't going to be selling leads. It was taking the same exact systems that all these companies are selling and helping people like you build them internally. So I truly believe that we have the best offer in the market. And if you think otherwise, I would love to know who else has a better offer than what we have right now, which is establishing both talent and client acquisition systems within your agency. This ensures that you never have to depend on anyone else and you own full ownership of all of these systems. So let's get into it. If you are already earning a consistent $10,000 a month plus, you most likely, again, have a proven offer and you understand your ICP, your ideal customer profile. And you probably just need assistance with two things. Number one is going to be client acquisition. And this right here is going to be the ability to schedule meetings predictably and consistently at scale. That's going to be the first thing you probably struggle with. The second thing is service delivery, which is having the right team and systems tailored for scaling, which will ensure that you can deliver outstanding results for your clients, taking you from, let's say, a glorified contractor wearing all these hats to an actual agency owner who is focusing on operations. And actually, the third thing that you probably need is counsel, which is having someone to educate you and your team on using these systems effectively to ensure that everything operates smoothly. Someone basically that acts as a third-party oversight. So these are probably the 2 to 3 things that you're struggling with. Let's go dive into each one in detail. So with client acquisition, there's a couple ways that you can do this when it comes to client acquisition. You can go ahead and hire a lead gen agency to generate you the leads. For example, hire a lead gen agency, you give them their ICP, they generate you the leads. We have a couple of partners that are crushing it in our agency that are lead gen agencies. But here's the problem with that, okay? One, it's going to cost you money. And once you stop paying for the leads, then the leads stop coming in. That's the first thing. It's just like paid ads versus organic. Number two is you don't own these systems internally. Rather, they are controlled by another agency. So that's the first way of you can actually get more clients and solve this for one of these two problems that you have. Now, alternatively, here's what you can do. You can build and own these exact systems yourself in-house within your agency. And this is exactly what we specialize here at Agency Protocols. It's something that we can offer should you decide to go ahead and book a call and see if it's a good fit for you. And when it comes to these client acquisition systems, it's actually 6. We will build up to 6 client acquisition systems in your agency, all which, again, you own and control. And these client acquisition systems are as follows. Number 1 is going to be paid ads, which is basically curating paid ads tailored to your ICP. This works with virtually any agency, regardless of what kind of agency you have. And over here, what we'll do is we'll assign a trained media buyer to run and manage these ads for you. So that's the first client acquisition system. The second client acquisition system is email marketing. And with this, you can send anywhere between 500 to 1,500 emails a day. Now, email marketing works with most niches, not all, but most. And over here, what we can do is we'll go ahead and implement these exact systems from A to Z within your agency. And then what we'll do is hire a copywriter who's going to act as an executive assistant to manage this system for you. Okay, that way you have someone that's managing it, you have someone that's replying back to these emails, so on and so forth. So this is an email marketing system from A to Z that we will implement inside of your agency. And again, you can send anywhere between 500 all the way to 1,500 emails a day. The next thing is going to be cold calling. And over here, it's going to be minimum 50 to 100 calls a day. And again, this works with local businesses. So if you're working with local businesses and you need a dialer, this works great for that. And over here, what we'll do is we will hire, place, and train cold callers in your agency, whether it's for you or for your clients. So what do we mean for you or for your clients? Well, let's say, you're working with a med spa clients and you need to verify those leads. Well, guess what? We will have this person verify the leads for you, right? So again, whether you need a cold caller for your agency or for your clients, we can go ahead and hire and place this person in your agency. The next thing is going to be LinkedIn prospecting. And over here, you can do anywhere between 10 to 50 connections a day. And this works with prospects who are professional. So let's say you're working with lawyers. Let's say you're working with people that are like CEOs of certain companies. This usually works really great. And over here, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and implement the same exact LinkedIn prospecting system that we have within your agency, and then assign an executive assistant to go ahead and manage the replies and everything else, the system itself. So LinkedIn prospecting works really great if your prospects are professionals like lawyers, CEOs, so on and so forth. The next is going to be Facebook and Instagram DMs, and we call this conversational prospecting. Over here, you can send a minimum of 50 DMs a day. And this works great if your audience is active on Instagram. So for example, in my first years of running my paid ads agency, this worked really great for me because I had a well-optimized Instagram. And what I would do is I would reach out to these e-commerce brands, pitching them my service. When they look at my profile, they can see that everything is legit. And I actually had a handful of clients using the same exact strategy. So again, this is going to work if your audience is on Instagram. If your audience is active on Instagram, specifically like e-com, right? First thing that e-com brands do is they create an Instagram account. So they're usually really active on there. If it's not the founder, it's definitely their social media person, or maybe it could be someone on their team managing it. And again, what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to go ahead and place and train a $3 an hour VA to do this outreach on your behalf. We have a whole back end system from A to Z. We'll train them exactly on how to do the outreach. That way they can go ahead and do this on your behalf. And you can get someone as low as $3 an hour. The next is communities. And over here, how much you can send is limited to the community itself. For example, if you're doing this on Facebook, I don't believe there's a limit of how many DMs you can send. But if you're on Skool, for example, then there's a limit of, I believe, like 10 to 20 a week. Nonetheless, this works great if your ideal customers are part of a community. And what are we going to do here? Well, what we'll do here is very similar to the conversational prospecting on Facebook and Instagram. We'll go ahead and place a trained $3 an hour VA to do this outreach on your behalf. And this specifically, the same exact strategy is actually how we scaled AP, Agency Protocols, my consulting business, to over $199,000 in stipulated revenue in just 3 months of launch. We did all of this inside of Skool, prospecting in schools. I believe that not many people are talking about this, right? Prospecting within communities. If you have your audience in a community, for example, my audience for my consulting business is agency owners. In Skool, there's many communities, some that have over 50,000, and these people are in there asking questions. So what I do is I go in there, or my VA goes in there, and they actually genuinely provide these people with answers to their questions. And again, we've been able to do just short of 200K within 3 months, simply just by having this client acquisition system in place. So that is the last client acquisition system that we can implement for you. And again, we'll implement one or all of these systems within your agency, all which you own and control. Now let's talk about service delivery. So if you're still doing the service delivery yourself, which if you're watching this video, you probably aren't, but I have to say it. If you're still doing it yourself, you're not an agency owner. You're a glorified contractor. And in order for you to scale, you need to delegate. I'm not sure exactly where this quote comes from, but it's very true, which says systems make the people and people make the systems. You can have the best systems. You can join AP and have the best systems, but if you don't have the right people in place, then everything is irrelevant. Systems make the business and people make the systems. That said, you can spend hours on end trying to find the right team member. You might make a few bad hires before you find the right team member. Well, at Agency Protocols, we have simplified and streamlined this whole process. What we will do is we will find, vet, and place the best of the best talent within your agency. Whether it's a media buyer, a video editor, graphic designer, sales rep, go high-level specialist, regardless of the talent, you're virtually guaranteed to get the best of the best. Not just when you sign on with us, but for the rest of our working relationship. So imagine, ask yourself this. Imagine never having to worry about finding talent ever again. How much time and money would that save your agency? I'm pretty sure it would be a lot. That is the service delivery. The objective here is to basically save business owners the headache of trying to find the right talent, which is the backbone of your operations. I don't know about you, but if I had something like this when I was starting out, understanding that people are the backbone of my business, I totally would be invested in something like this because first of all, it's like the idea of like looking for the right team member is already a headache within itself, let alone making a few bad hires before actually finding the right person. So the next is going to be ongoing counsel. And this basically is going to provide you with an instant feedback loop. So now that you have these systems established internally, you and your team are inevitably going to have questions and are going to need assistance to manage these exact systems. Well, this is where we step in as counsel. We are here to offer you guidance and support to both you and your team throughout this whole exact process. Your team will have access to myself as well as my personal team for any questions that they may have, along with weekly Q&A calls to review the systems to make sure that everything is running smooth and that everything is being effectively executed. This will go ahead and provide you a feedback loop. So again, on top of building these systems for you and hiring the right people for you, we are going to be there for you and your team to guide you on managing these systems, whether that's in the form of a weekly Q&A call that your team can join for us to review and make sure everything is going great, or whether that's Slack, where if they have a question, they can go ahead and get a response from us the same day. So now that you have all of these three things, this is going to dictate how successful you will be and how much money you will make, and vice versa. The lack of having these three things will dictate how fast you fail or how little money you make. Because again, at the end of the day, you understand that having consistent meetings coming in is important, and that having great people to deliver on these results for your clients is important. So how well you do this dictates how much money you have, and again, vice versa. So now that I've given you clarity on how you can add an extra 100K a month by implementing these three things that we mentioned, really there's two things that you can do. Number one is you can go ahead and disregard everything that I mentioned in this video and go ahead and apply everything yourself. You can go ahead and find the top talent yourself. You can go ahead and build out your own internal client acquisition systems, and you can go ahead and find someone to assist you and your team on how to actually manage these systems. That is your first option. Your second option is going to be to click the button down below, schedule a demo call with myself or my head of sales, Michael. And what we'll do on this call is we're going to dive deep into everything that I mentioned in this video. And you can go ahead and decide for yourself if you are going to be a good fit or not. Now, if you are a good fit, great. We'll go ahead and implement these exact systems within your business within 2 to 4 weeks. If you're not a good fit, that's totally fine. You can take whatever advice that you've gotten on this video or on the call itself and go ahead and implement it yourself or apply it however you would like to. So those are your two options. I think if you are someone who has nothing to lose, you're a go-getter, you'd schedule a call. Again, this is a demo call. This is not a sales call. This is to go into more detail as to exactly how we can implement this in your business. Now, I do want to be transparent. We do have a limited capacity of 7 to 10 clients that we can onboard every single month. And this isn't a scarcity tactic. It really isn't. The reason is very simple. Our one-on-one approach for developing and implementing these internal systems in your agency requires so much time and effort for both myself and my team. So unlike pre-recorded courses that are sold in masses, our approach is very different and it's hands-on, dedicating time to meet with you personally and your team to construct these agency internal systems from the ground up. So you're not going to get videos to watch on how to do this yourself. It's going to be one-on-one, me, you, and your team building these systems for you. So we can't just have onboard so many people because this is not a course where, you make a payment and that's it. You get access to the course. Rather, it takes hours on end for every single person that we go ahead and onboard. So again, because this is one-on-one, we can only partner with a select number of people every month to ensure quality and attention to detail. And if you still need an incentive to actually go ahead and book the call and take action, here is your incentive. If you are a good fit, and you book the call using the link below, we're going to go ahead and give you 20% off the entire program. So that's 20% off the entire program if you are a good fit. And with that said, I hope you take action and book the call. You have nothing to lose. Let's get on a call, show you exactly how we can implement these systems in your business. This way, you don't have to rely on someone else. You will have your own internal systems, from getting clients to acquiring the best talent. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing you on the call.